Hey, this is another factoring video. In this video, we're going to go over the box method. So this is one of the methods that works for a lot of different types of problems. In fact, almost all types of factoring problems. Kind of a slick way to visually see how to factor. So again, there's lots of different types. This is just one version, one way to factor. So check it out, see if you like it. If you do, feel free to use it as much as you can. It's pretty slick. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to start off by taking the first term and multiply it to the last term. So we're going to draw a little x here. The first term is going to multiply to the last term. So we got 2x squared times 3 is 6x squared. And then the middle term is going to go down here on the bottom. So this is just a method trying to figure out what two things multiply together to get this whole thing. And we're using the box method. So again, the a term times the c term here, it gives me 6x squared, and then the bottom number, or the middle term goes here on the bottom. What we're trying to do now is we're trying to think of two terms that if I multiply these two together, it's going to equal this. And if I add them together, they will add to this bottom piece. So really all you do is you look at the 6 and the 5 here and try and think of what multiplies to get 6 but adds to get 5. Okay? A lot of times it just pops in your head. 6 times 1 multiplies to 6, but it does not add to 5, so that is incorrect. What else would work? Well, 3 times 2. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 plus 2 is 5. There we go. The issue, though, is we need x's. So that way, if I have 3x times 2x, it gives me 6x squared. But if I add them together, that gives me the 5x. Okay, now as soon as I get these two things, I'm ready to do the box method. So I'm going to draw a box. I'm going to split that into 4 pieces. What happens is this a term is going to go in the top left corner. So I have a 2x squared right here. The c term is going to go in the bottom right corner. So those two need to be diagonal from each other. And then the two pieces that I found in my little x over here, those are going to go in these two spots. And the order does not matter. It doesn't matter which one the 3x goes in, the 2x. You just pick one and put it in. So let's put the 3x here and the 2x here. Okay, we're almost done actually. Now what we're going to do is we are going to take the GCF of each column and each row. So if I take the first column, it looks like they have a 2 in common and they have an x in common. Then I go to the next column. Looks like they have a 3 in common. And it was a positive 3, so I'm going to put a plus sign right here. Now let's do each row. So in the first row, the 2 and the 3 only have a 1 in common. And they have an x. So I'm going to have a 1x here. I try to leave the 1 invisible every chance I get. And in this case, we can. 2x and 3, they have no x's in common. So this is one where I can't leave the 1 invisible. I'm going to have to write the 1. And it was a positive 1, so I put a 1 there. Now, what you don't realize is that we just found the two factors of this parenthesis. We have a 2x plus 3, that's one of them, and an x plus 1, that's the other one. So our answers are x plus 1 times 2x plus 3. These two parentheses would multiply together to get this original problem. Kind of funky, a little fuzzy. Let's try another one, see if we can kind of clean that up a little bit. Okay, let's try this one. So I'm going to do a little x over here to figure out what numbers I need. 1 times 14 is 14. The middle number is a 9. Can you think of two things that multiply to get 14 but add to get the 9? And I forgot the x's, so let's put those on here. 7 times 2 is 14, and 7 plus 2 is the 9. So I need a 2x and a 7x. Again, the order doesn't matter. My habit is I always try to put the smaller one on the left, but it really doesn't matter. Now I'm going to go to my box. A term goes in the top left corner. C term goes in the bottom right corner. And then these need to go in the leftover spots. And now we take the GCF. First column, they both have an x in common. Second one has a 2 in common, and that's a positive 2, so I need an x plus 2. So I already know one of my factors is x plus 2. What about the rows? Top row has an x in common, the bottom has a 7, and that's a positive 7. So my other one would be x plus 7. Okay? Those two things would multiply together to get that answer, and it's factored. All right, this one looks a little complicated, kind of bigger numbers. Let's check it out. So I need to figure out 3 times negative 20 is negative 60, and I have the x squared. The middle one would be a negative 11x. We have to think of what multiplies to this, but adds to the middle, okay? It's kind of hard for this to just pop in our heads. When in doubt, you can always just kind of figure out what multiplies to this, the top number, negative 60. So like negative 1 times 60, and then add them together. And that doesn't work. Negative 2 times 30, no. Negative 3 times 10, we're getting close. Negative 4 times 15. Ooh, that adds to positive 11. So if I switch the signs and just make it negative 15 and positive 4, that would add to negative 11. And I'm going to show you in just a second how to use a calculator to quickly get this. Pretty slick. So anyway, we got negative 15x and 4x. So that's going to help me with my box. So I've got 3x squared here and negative 20. And notice that these subtraction signs need to go with the numbers. That'd be a negative 20 when I'm putting it in the box. This would be a minus 15x. And I've got a positive 4x, and then I just take GCF. Looking at the first column, they have a 1 and an x in common. So I have a 1x there, leaving the 1 as invisible. Next one has a negative 5 in common. First row has a 3 and an x in common, so I need a 3x. And then the bottom one has a 4 in common. And because this is the first number is positive, I'm taking out a positive. This needs to be a plus. And there's my two answers. One of the factors is x minus 5. The other one would be 3x plus 4. And there we go. We have now factored this original problem. And remember, you can always check to make sure that you've done it right by distributing. If I multiplied this out, I should get this answer. X times 3x is 3x squared. X times 4 is 4x. Negative 5 times 3 is negative 15. So I have a negative 15x and a 4x, which adds to get negative 11x. And then negative 5 times 4 is negative 20. It came out right, and it worked. So just a really quick little method, box method. Kind of cool in a very nerdy kind of way, of course. It's kind of nice to have a little visual way to factor. So let me show you really quickly. I would say that one of the biggest areas is people don't know what multiplies to the top and adds to the bottom. So let me kind of quickly show you how a calculator can help you do this for you real quick. Let me grab a calculator and I'll show you. All right, so I'm going to type in the calculator. On the top, I need a negative 60 because that's the number I'm trying to multiply. So I got negative 60. And then we're going to just divide by x. So if I divide by x, okay, that's going to give me a table. So on this calculator, if I go over here to table, so I hit second and then table, that will give me an answer. So for every x value, it gives me a y value. So what we're doing is I'm going to go up to just where you put 1 in for x. So 1 times negative 60, well, those don't add. So I'm going to just keep going down until I find one that adds to negative 11. So if I added those together, that would not be close. No, that isn't negative 11. Ooh, that one right there adds to negative 11. And so I know it's 4 and negative 15. And so if you don't find it, you just keep going down, and you only look at the whole numbers. We don't ever use decimals. But it will tell you all the numbers that actually multiply to negative 60. So pretty slick. Kind of a quick way to figure out your multiplication tables, figure out which ones multiply to the right number. So you just take, if I'm trying to find the multiples of 60, then I'm going to put 60 divided by x, then go to the table, and that will help me find all the multiples. So that's just a very quick way to factor, showing the box method. Let me know if you need any help, if you have any examples you want me to try and help you out with. Give this channel a subscribe and a like, and I'll see you soon. Have a good day.